You could argue that, excuse me, Joe Biden would not have won the Democratic nomination for president if not for one person, South Carolina Congressman Jim Clyburn. His endorsement after Biden had lost both Iowa and New Hampshire decisively. What is the veteran congressman now saying and hearing from his colleagues after watching Thursday night's debate? And joining me now is Congressman James Clyburn of South Carolina, co-chair of the Biden-Harris 2024 campaign. Congressman, it's great to see you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, you have said that the president was over-prepared for the debate. Are you confident that that was the only issue? Was it over-preparedness, badly preparedness, trying to memorize statistics rather than speak thematically about his policies, his values, or is it something else? Could there be another problem?
Well, as you may know, as a college student, I did a lot of debating. I was in our debating society, and I think it's always best in a debate to be thematic. I don't think you should get bogged down in statistics, in specifics, but to lay out the themes and lay them out in such a way that you can deflect what may be coming from the other side. And so I noticed early on in the debate, in fact, in the very first question, that the president seemed to be groping for numbers and for talking points rather than just laying out the theme of whatever the question may have been. On the other side, you had his opponent laying out theme, had nothing to do with the question, and never offered any substance. But Joe Biden has a life of experiences that's very substantive when it comes to democratic principles and democratic priorities, and I thought that he was short on that in this particular debate. Now, whether or not the history of stuttering, other things that could come to play were the only reasons, but I'll tell you, I come the 21st of this month. I turned 84 years old. That makes me almost 3 years older than Joe Biden. And there are times when I have my glasses on and I'm looking for them. These kinds of things happen. But I'll have to wait on the experts in medicine to give their opinion because I'm not a doctor, so I have no idea the extent to which all of this may have occurred. But when you are 81 years old, you are not as nimble as you are at 21.
Well, let me ask you, you have a very special relationship with him, a very close relationship. Has he called you?
I don't think so. I told his staff, I think on Friday morning or Friday evening, I think I left. I went directly to Florida, and then from there I went directly to Wisconsin, and I spent the last 2 days. Got in from Wisconsin here to South Carolina at midnight last night, and I do have, I'm told, a scheduled call with him later today.
Well, we would love to catch up with you after that, but what are you hearing from your colleagues? You were on the floor on Friday, presumably.
Well, as Nancy Pelosi said earlier, it's mixed. I only had one of my colleagues to say to me they thought there should be some kind of replacement. Everybody else expressed concern, but they're dug in. And I can tell you what I found in Wisconsin. I did about 10 events over in 3 cities, Madison, Milwaukee, and Benoit. And the Democratic voters, what I call the grassrooters, they are dug in on this. And most of them are very sensitive to the fact that Joe Biden has a record that they want to see built upon, and that his opponent has a record of being against everything that they feel is important to the future growth and development of this country and to the opportunities that they have of fulfilling their dreams and aspirations and leaving a country for their children to be proud of. That's what I heard for the last 3 days, and I think that is going to hold. Now, Joe Biden may decide otherwise, but I think the people that I've been around the last 3 days are dug in their support for Joe Biden.
Congressman, how would you feel if there is a decision for him to step down, if he decides that, and he has to decide that? Or if the party pressures him to do that, how would you feel if they worked around and tried to go around Kamala Harris because of her lack of high poll numbers and popularity and broadly based? Do you think it's hers to have if it is not his?
I will support her if he were to step aside. But I want to support her going forward at sometime in the future. I want this ticket to continue to be Biden-Harris. And then we'll see what happens after the next election. No, this party should not in any way do anything to work around Ms. Harris. We should do everything we can to bolster her, whether it's in second place or at the top of the ticket.
Congressman James Clyburn, I just want to also thank you for your role, your late wife's role, the whole movement. It's the 60th anniversary of Lyndon Johnson's Civil Rights Act, something we should not be forgetting on this important day. And I want to thank you for being with us today.
Well, thank you very much for remembering my late wife. I met her in jail there in Orangeburg when we were fighting to get this Civil Rights Act.
That was called making good trouble, as your colleague John Lewis used to say. Thank you, sir.
Hey there, MSNBC fans. I'm Luke Russert, and be sure to join me, Rachel Maddow, Jen Psaki, Lawrence O'Donnell, Steve Kornacki, Joy Reid, and many more September 7th in Brooklyn, MSNBC Live Democracy 2024. Click on the link for ticket information. We will see you there.